All right, guys, welcome back to House of Prep. My name's Jerry. I live just outside of Nashville here in Tennessee, and I wanted to be able to talk about the stores again this week. So you know what to do. Jump in the comments of the video here and let me know about your area, what's going on. Look, it could be shrinkflation items, things that have shrunk the same price. It could be price increases. It could be talking about fuel cost, anything shortages on the shelf. Let's see, I'm putting out a couple things here as I'm talking. I checked the soda aisle and stuff. The water looked pretty good at my stores. Now, my wife, Joy, she shopped at Kroger just a couple days ago, so I didn't really need a whole lot. But I'm going to explain some things of the reason why I got what I did as I'm kind of going through here. I spent about $50. And as I stopped and kind of looked at everything I had here on the table, and you'll see, I'm just like, wow, $50. It just doesn't seem like you get as much stuff for $50 anymore when you really stop and think about it. So I was thinking about comfort foods. You know, from time to time we talk about those. And, you know, whether it's your favorite cinnamon rolls or whatever you like, you know, it's good to have some of those on hand. I remember a year ago back when, you know, things were getting cleared off the shelves and some of these things were hard to find. So I just make it a point to always just have some for backup and just kind of always keep some in the fridge on hand because you just never know when you're going to really like, okay, we need some comfort food, right? It's time to splurge a little bit. No more dieting for today, right? Different things sometimes are hard to find in my area. The raspberry one I cannot find, but I did find the cherry, and I like that one just as well. You know, do you remember the Bear Creek soups? I did a long time ago. This past year, I did some demos on the Bear Creek soups. I was looking at those again today, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab them, maybe do another demo. Did you know all the Bear Creek soups were totally gone? All empty boxes up there. And I don't know where they went. I mean, they've been there, and just now they're totally gone. So I don't know if there's an issue with the Bear Creek soups. But if one of you all might have had the same type of experience, share that. Put it in the comments. And hey, don't forget to come back and reread the comments later. So I've been trying some of these different Protein One things. So this one has 0 sugar, pretty much. No sugar. And yes, I get sugar, but I have to balance it. Like in the mornings or some other times, I have to be careful how much sugar I'm intaking. So that's doctor's orders. So I'm still allowed to splurge here and there, but in moderation. You know how that goes. You know what I'm talking about. Now, going up and down, like the pasta aisle, I noticed the different ragouts, the store brand, the Classicos, all the different types of marinaras, and they were like almost wiped out. But I did go ahead and get, because here's what I do. When I start really noticing an item that seems to be really low every single week, I make sure I stay caught up on that item and add a few extra to the preps, right? And that canned goods, kind of the same exact issue. Not a lot of corn, not a lot of green beans. So what that makes me do is I go ahead and grab a couple of each. Not that I need that, but that's what we do here. We prepare ahead for things that you kind of get that gut feeling, right? You know, you get that little voice inside, you know, you got Jerry on your shoulder saying you need to buy another one. Remember, it's been a while since I brought that up. So when you're going to the store, and if you're seeing something that's really low and you're like, you know what, let's just go ahead and get an extra. Jerry told me to get an extra one. So we're going to do that. That's what we're... Now, some of you guys have been telling me about gravy, the jarred gravy. You said that it's been wiped out, and even this last week's video, I've seen comments about jarred gravy. So I looked, and sure enough, there's no jarred gravy. So the jars must be the issue going on, because they did have some canned, and obviously they have the packets too. I have plenty of the packets, but I'm like, let me grab a couple of these cans of gravy. I normally don't get the cans of gravy, but they were relative, about 80 cents a piece, something like that. And I like variety. I like having different ways of cooking a meal, not just everything exactly the same, where this is ready to pour out, it's good to go. Where the packets, you have to add what? water. So if you are in a situation where you're trying to reserve water, you're trying to ration it out, in some of these instances that water is already in here, this one's ready to go, no water, no water, no water, you just pour it out, heat it up, and it's good to go. You could eat it. It's out of the can if you need to. Same with all kinds of canned goods. Just what I'm noticing. These aren't reasons to panic. But look at it this way. If you were to know, let's say something did hit your area, a storm, a natural disaster of some sort, maybe it's a grid down situation or something that's a little more serious of a situation. If you had somebody that you trusted and they said, hey, I have supplies for you to cover you for this disaster, man, wouldn't that be a benefit? Well, do you know that person that you trust could be yourself? Do you trust yourself? If you're not preparing to take care of your own needs and your family needs, you can't trust yourself. Guys, look, you should be able to rely on you, right? Do what you can do to protect yourself. Put up an insurance, put up some supplies that you have, whether it's for 3 weeks, for a month, enough to get through some sort of an obstacle, a curveball in life, right? I would call them those bumps in the road that you hit. But look, you got to be able to rely on your own person, right? You should be able to trust that guy, right? That gal, that guy. So look, right now is the time to stock. The stores have stuff. You see, I'm getting things. I'm adding slowly, methodically, been adding for a long time, adding things to my prep every single week. I'm getting something new and adding something different, or doing backups to things and things that we eat and that we would use and that we do like. And that's what you need to be considering. If you have not yet jumped in with both feet, right? Just jump on in and just begin that journey. And it is a journey. It becomes a lifestyle. All right, let's go to Gatorades. They had Gatorades, Powerades, sports drinks. They still had body armor. So it was a good day today to be able to find pretty much anything you would want or need. So I just pulled this out as a representation to remind me to talk about it. So I said I spent $50, right? So this was probably my biggest expense. Let's see, hamburger meat. Let's see, I've got the receipt over here. Yeah, 12 bucks. So 3 pounds for $12, and it's the ground chuck. And that's probably my biggest, it is the biggest expense out of the $50. So that pack of hot dog buns for maybe some grilling, just a cheap grilling meal, some buns. And that's it. Here, let me pull the camera up here just to kind of show you. So this is what $50 bought right here, okay? $50. Now, when you look at this, this is the most expensive thing, $12. But other than that, cheap, not bad. These aren't bad. These are cheap, super cheap. Corn, green beans, cheap. Yogurt's just a couple bucks. Now this did cost about $5 because it's healthier than the great value, cereal bars that are like super 22% of your daily intake of sugar. So I was like, nah, I wish I could buy those for $1.50. So now I'm buying that for $5. So that's probably my second most expensive item here. And then one splurge item, and then my little caffeine fix, right? That's it, $50. So it just, when you stop and really just take that in, you're just kind of like, wow, that didn't buy a whole lot. I mean, if I would have bought maybe some more protein meats, right? You saw my thumbnail. Meats are expensive. There's a reason why there's not a lot on the shelf, because not a lot of people are buying them. They don't have to stock it up. I'm watching people shop. Nobody's picking up the filet mignon right now. Nobody's picking up the New York strips and the ribeyes, and they're just sitting there. I go back later and the same meats are still sitting there on the shelf. So they're not moving. And it's because, look, guys, prices are going up. No matter how you slice and dice it. And if you look at the shelves, like I mentioned, the Bear Creek, and there were some other little examples of holes and places that you're just like, if I wasn't really watching or looking for it or paying attention, you wouldn't really even notice that certain items are totally out. So that becomes a hit or miss. And I know every region, every area is different, every state, even every country. We have other countries here. And if you're out and about and you've been out and about this week doing some shopping, throw in some details of your experience. Drop your state, your city, if you don't mind, or wherever you feel comfortable, just kind of letting us know about what area you live in, just so we kind of know the trends, what's going on out there. Is it shipment problems? Is it lack of employees, a lack of trucks? Are there containers still stuck out in the outside of California waiting to get in so they can be shipped? And I mean, there's just layers and layers of all kinds of issues going on in life. What about another hacking? Because all it takes is 2 or 3 events, and all of a sudden our supply chain is crippled. And that's why you just need to keep stocking, guys. Keep getting backups to everything. Make sure you pick out your favorite stuff and just stock it up. Keep it rotated. You don't want to waste stuff, but you want to make sure you have enough stuff to take care of you and your family, guys. So tell you what, you keep doing that. I'll keep making videos. We'll keep sharing and helping each other. And if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hey, subscribe. We got a good group, good family here. House of Prep, it's a great place. And I will catch you guys later. You guys have a great rest of the day. All right, now, bye.